You see that box? It's unboxing time. I have been waiting for this yarn support. It's arrived. Let's get into it. This yarn haul consists of yarn support for future designs and content making with Line Brand products because I'm one of their partners and affiliates. And this entire haul consists of Color Theory and Heartland Yarn. I've only recently become a fan of Heartland Yarn with the first time I used it and really enjoyed working with it was their Tweeds line of Heartland. I used Mount Rainier for my Mellow Snood pattern, which is available for free on my website, or you can get the kit, which consists of the yarn, any add-ons of your choice, and the pattern itself that you can get directly through Line Brand, and I'll include all the links in the description box below. So this is the first color that I'm pulling out. I've got 3 balls of, this is Canyonlands, and I probably should have just bust this open so you could get a better view, but it's a nice rich golden tan. I don't really want to call this a mustard. I doubt that it's reading like a mustard. It's very much a very warm heathered camel color, and that's what I really like about it, is that it's more in the browns. Well, to me, it's probably the perfect blend of brown and yellow. So that's Canyonlands. Then we've got in the second line of, well, the second Heartland color is Petrified Forest, which is like a sagey gray. So you've got, it's very much in the green gray family. So it's, yeah, it's like a steel green, if that's even a color, which is why I said sagey. But you can see lots of gray notes in it, lots of really, really, really steely green look. But it's very, I see the green. I definitely see the green in this. So Petrified Forest. I had a plan originally for all of this yarn, and then that kind of flew out of the window in the time it took for the yarn to be ordered and to arrive to me. So I had a lot of accessories planned and no garments, but I'm pretty sure we're gonna get my first pullover out of this yarn from this haul. Third Heartland colorway is Wolf Trap. Now, Wolf Trap, it deceived me a little bit. I will admit, this deceived me on the website, and it shouldn't have been as much of a deception as it was, because this is very millennial pink in person. Online, to me, it looked more oatmeal with like undertones of pink. But this is very pink. Wolf Trap is very pink. And I believe in the description it says like a dune and almond tone. So I'm not quite sure where almond or dune comes in here, because it literally looks like pink, heathered with more pink. So I will say this, if you were looking for an oatmeal out of the Heartland line, I wouldn't say that Wolf Trap is that. And the more I looked at it and compared it, because once I pulled it out initially, I held it up to my phone, which screens are deceiving. So that's why I more so was going with the description of the color. But I still felt like that may have still been a little bit misleading. But when I held up my phone and looked at the yarn itself, I could kind of see how they were more similar. But again, I wasn't expecting it to look so pink in person. But I do still love the color. I think it's great, and will be enjoying using it. I know that's 1, 2, 3 colors. I know I ordered 5 colors of Heartland. This is Kings Canyon. Yep, Kings Canyon. I have one of these open already. Yeah, here we go. So Kings Canyon, I got 6 of those. Kings Canyon is a heathered jade and emerald green, and it's gorgeous. Okay, this actually looks a little bit brighter in person than it does on the internet, or when I'm looking on my phone screen. Let me be specific about that. but I love that. I think you actually see the full depth of color in person, where it's hard to really capture, I think, this type of depth of color online or through a phone screen. And I'm very much a fan. I want this to be a main color. The goal is to make the pullover out of all of the Heartland yarns and put those together to make a really pretty fun colorway, or color palette for a pullover. So we shall see how this goes. And the last in the Heartland colors is Capital Reef. And again, this one misled me. It did. I didn't expect this one to look so pink. I knew it was going to be pink, but I thought it was going to be on more of the muted side. Although I would say it doesn't look saturated in the swatch on my phone, but I wasn't expecting it to be this pink, because I wanted this to be the pink in my color palette and this to serve as a neutral oatmeal, a neutral warm toned white. And instead I now have two contrasting pinks, but I believe it'll work. I do still think that this will work. And if I have to take one out, I take a color out. But either way, I think that these colors still all can tell a story together. See what I'm saying? I think this can still be a thing. I really do think that this can still be a thing. And it would honestly be the difference in swapping out one of these pink tones, in which most likely it'll be this one, because these are also saturated. I need something to tone it down a little bit and something to make sure that everything shines on its own. But essentially, the plan is to make a pullover out of these colors right here. So that's my Heartland portion of this haul, which I gotta figure out where it's all gonna go. Exciting. And now for the color theory. We've got minis. I have 2 packs of the mini bundles. I have crystal heart cushions in mind with these, and potentially more visual aids. I did make a short, quick visual aid for my Instagram, and I posted it to my YouTube shorts on how to do the color changes and the directional changes in the crystal heart cushion. Even though there are multiple charts, color by number, and I mean, just various ways where you can follow the instructions that are complete written instructions, as well as, like I said, the charts to make the pattern for the crystal heart cushion make sense. But I'm thinking A, content, and B, it might just be fun using these pretties to make and show the multitude of colorways and color blocking that you can do with a crystal heart cushion. So there's that. And if you didn't know, the full spectrum wrap that I mentioned in my second half of my make line list, my crochet designs, it uses this. I mentioned that the mini skeins, I didn't mention that it was made using mini skeins, but I mentioned that it uses the full spectrum of the color theory line of yarn. And so if you wanted, you could essentially just order one of these bundles of the mini skeins of the colorways, and then you can make the full spectrum wrap, which is available as a free pattern on Alexi's website of TwoWands.com. So there's these. So I made sure I got 2 so I could have all the colors at my disposal, or all the colors that I know I would definitely be using at my disposal, and not have to worry about running out. Don't expect to see a kit coming from me using this. I just do want to warn you there. If you get it, it would literally be to do what you will with. I'll put it like that. What else? One second. Had to turn down some sounds. All right, so we're back, hopping right back into it. We've got the rest of the color theory. This is caper. I believe I've got 6 balls of caper. Yes. Am I right? Yeah, caper. This is a, how can I describe caper? It's like an olive meets champagne. It's a very... What, honey?
White shirt.
Yeah. Okay. He's in the room. He's in the room. All right, let's try this one more time. All right, so caper, in my opinion, looking at it, which I believe it's very true to tone from looking at my phone screen and seeing it in person, this is essentially what I expected. Leo, can you, shh, mommy's recording, okay? Shh. Just give me a few more minutes, okay? Just a few minutes. All right, so caper, in my opinion, looks very true to what I was looking at on my phone screen and what I'm looking at in my hands. I would consider this a very pretty olive green with like some champagne warm yellow undertones, and it's pretty. Like, this is a very, it's like an elegant green. I don't know how else to describe it, but I love this shade of green. Like I said, that champagne undertone in it just makes it feel very bright and light, and like, I know I won't lose stitch definition within this color. So that's caper. And then we have thunder, which I already started using, but I stuffed it back. Thunder, it's very gray. That's thunder. It literally looks like a storm cloud in your hand, but just, you can really kind of see some of like the slate blue undertones in it. It's not just like a flat gray, it's a tonal without being heather looking or without actually looking visually tonal like Heartland does, but it's not flat. This isn't a flat gray, and it's very, very pretty. Again, I think this is something that would hold stitch definition very well, or just, you know, elevate a very simple stitch. So I have a lot of this because I intended on making something very oversized, but this most likely will be a set, an accessory set of patterns in the future. I'll go ahead and put these. Like I said, I got a lot of it, of just that one color. This bee pollen, it's a true yellow. No. So we have bee pollen. It's a true yellow. It's like a honey yellow, gets the bee pollen. It's not like super bright yellow like pollen, but yeah, if you can mix honey and pollen, the real life tones, you would get bee pollen. And this is a very beautiful yellow. I love how saturated this color is. I love how bright and sunny it is, but it's not like a harsh yellow. I think this is a very complementary color to lots of other shades of yellow. Even, yeah, which I was saying earlier about how this is more in the browns family. I think this looks way more yellow than this does. But I think that they would actually look really good together. But I don't plan on blending the two different yarns together. Hey, Leo. And what else do we have? Oh, this is more caper. And last but not least, we have, is this Provence or is this Amethyst?
Provence.
Amethyst. Provence. It's a place in France. I know that. And it's a shade of purple. So, fun fact, these two colors, bee pollen and Provence, are held to double to make the Kenwood sweater, which is also available as a free pattern by Two of Wands on our website, or you can get it as a kit on Line Brand's website. But yeah, these two colors are held together and they look so nice. It is one of my make nines, and eventually I do want to make it, and I high key want to make it in the original sample and be twinsies with Alexi, because I love the idea of putting this lilac-y purple with this very fun yellow. I like these two colors together, and I might be putting them together for my own, you know, scarf in the future. But yes, I've got 3 of each of these, and I just can't get over this purple. There is another purple in the Color Theory line, Amethyst, and it's a more deep like steel toned purple, but I like that this is a more lilac pink toned purple without being too pink, because I gravitate towards feminine colors that aren't so feminine. I want them to almost be like a neutral feminine, which makes no sense saying it out loud, but that's just kind of the type of tone. When I think of feminine tones, I want them to almost double as a neutral, not necessarily scream femininity, and that's what I get from Provence. I hope I'm saying that right. You can correct me so I can say it better in the comments or later, anywhere else you find me online. But that is my yarn haul here. Yep, that's everything. So again, we've got Heartland, Future Pullover, Color Theory, all the accessories. I plan on doing lots of accessories and home decor with the Color Theory that I have here. And if there are any questions that you have about this yarn, let me know in the comments. If you have any questions about me being an affiliate or a partner with Lion Brand, leave that in the comments. If you'd like to see a video of me maybe answering those questions, I would love to share what I am able to share. All right, catch you in the next video. Bye.